It is tough. I mean, but there's a lot of stuff that reminds me of her. You know, in like relationships, like you see something on TV and you're like, oh, I remember when we used to watch this, or I remember this.
It begins with a song, soft, haunting, and sharper than anything Selena Gomez has ever released. After years of silence, cryptic posts, and internet-fueled tension, she finally speaks. Not through interviews or statements, but through her art. Her new track, Don't Take It Personally, lands like a calm confession, measured, poetic, and quietly devastating. The internet didn't just listen, it detonated. For over a decade, fans have obsessed over the unspoken triangle between Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber, and Hailey Bieber. From suspiciously similar outfits to overlapping timelines and mirrored Instagram captions, social media has treated every move like a clue. But this song, this perfectly timed, emotionally charged track, feels like the first time Selena decided to say what she's always held back. I know the two of you used to talk every day, she sings, her voice steady and almost too composed. You probably got a dartboard with my face in the middle. It's a line that doesn't need decoding. It doesn't hint, it declares. TikTok is on fire. Fans are dissecting lyrics line by line, turning her song into a courtroom exhibit. Some call it a closure anthem, others call it a quiet revenge. Either way, it's impossible to deny that Don't Take It Personally feels deliberate, the calmest explosion pop music has seen in years. Selena, of course, downplayed the meaning. In her album commentary, she claimed the song isn't about her at all, that it's based on someone else's story. But her delivery, timing, and emotional precision say otherwise. She smiles when asked about it, saying, "It's about something I related to emotionally." And then, almost playfully, she adds, "This is odd to say, but yes, I'm the person it happened to." That line alone sent fans into chaos. Was she joking, admitting the truth, or playing the same game the media has played with her for years? The track sits near the end of her album, I Said I Loved You First, released on March 21st, 2025, a collaboration with her fiancé Benny Blanco. Most of the album is light, a reflection on growth, healing, and stability. But this song is different. It's still, it's surgical, and fans can feel that it wasn't meant to entertain. It was meant to end something. He sleeps in my bed. I met his parents. It's official, she sings, before sliding into the chorus, please don't take it personally. Some things are just meant to be. Don't waste all your energy. We both know that he loves me. It isn't vengeful. It's resigned, like someone closing a door for good. It feels less like she's winning, and more like she's finally letting go. Critics called it a whisper that echoes louder than a scream. Fans called it Selena's peace offering wrapped in honesty. But to the internet, it's blood in the water. Within hours, lyric breakdowns flooded YouTube. TikTok edits mixed clips of old interviews, paparazzi moments, and red carpet photos with the song playing underneath. Every syllable was treated as evidence, proof that Selena had finally confirmed what everyone suspected, that Don't Take It Personally was the final page of the Selena-Justin-Hailey saga. And yet, in typical Selena fashion, she leaves everyone guessing. That's the brilliance and the tragedy of her public life. She speaks in half-truths because she knows the world will fill in the rest. Fans hear heartbreak, calm, confidence, but also exhaustion. She isn't fighting anymore. She's done proving, done defending, done pretending she hasn't seen what everyone else has. Because behind every lyric is a decade of chaos. From IHOP dates in 2010 to cryptic tweets, emotional interviews, and the abrupt 2018 engagement that left fans reeling, the story of Justin and Selena isn't just history, it's pop culture canon. And when Hailey entered the picture, that history never really went away. It just evolved into something more volatile, a fandom divided by memory and myth. By the time Justin and Hailey married, the internet had already chosen sides. Selena's silence became a symbol of grace, while Hailey's every post was dissected for shade. What began as love stories turned into full-blown war zones across comment sections. When Selena released Lose You to Love Me in 2019, fans believed she had finally purged her pain. But Don't Take It Personally feels like something else entirely. Not grief, not bitterness, just acceptance. The kind that comes when you've carried a story for too long and decide to finally set it down. Still, the world can't stop reading between the lines. They point to the lyric, "You probably got a dartboard with my face right in the middle," calling it a direct shot at Hailey. They analyze her tone, her pauses, her expression. Even when she says it's not about anyone specific, no one believes her. Because in pop culture, truth doesn't matter. What people feel does. And right now, the world feels like Selena just closed a decade-long chapter with a single song. But here's the truth hidden under the noise. This story stopped being about rivalry a long time ago. It's about two women who've been dragged through the same storm and forced to relive each other's pain again and again by an audience that refuses to move on. Both have begged for peace. Both have asked the internet to stop. And yet the obsession keeps looping. Fandoms dig through old clips, screenshots, and interviews as if solving a mystery that ended years ago. The irony? The same people accusing Hailey of being obsessed with Selena are the ones tracking her every move. They're the ones keeping this story alive. When Selena sings "Don't Take It Personally," it's not just a lyric. It's a message to all of us. To let go, to stop projecting, to stop turning women into characters in a never-ending drama. She's not defending herself anymore. She's reclaiming her peace. Because in the end, "Don't Take It Personally" isn't about shade, rivalry, or revenge. It's about release. It's Selena Gomez saying, softly but firmly, "This is where it ends." The morning after "Don't Take It Personally" dropped, social media looked like the aftermath of a cultural earthquake. Streams skyrocketed past 30 million in 24 hours. Comment sections filled with crying emojis. "Finally, she said it" memes, and fan essays breaking down the emotional layers of every verse. But what really caught people's attention wasn't just the song, it was the silence that followed. Selena didn't tweet. She didn't post a selfie. She didn't even like a single comment. Instead, she disappeared for a full day. No Instagram story, no interview quotes, just silence. And somehow, that spoke louder than anything else. Fans said it felt intentional, like she was letting the song breathe, letting the message sink in without distraction. As one viral TikTok put it, "She said it once and walked away." That's power. Meanwhile, Hailey Bieber's world went eerily quiet too. Normally active on social media, she didn't post for 3 days straight after the song's release. No stories, no skincare promos, not even a repost of her brand Rhode. That silence only fueled speculation. Was she avoiding attention? Or was she quietly hurt? Her friends claimed she'd seen the online chaos and was shaken by how many people assumed the song was about her. The comments under Hailey's last post turned brutal overnight. Thousands flooded in, some mocking, others pleading for peace. One top comment read, "It's not about you anymore, let it go," while another said, "Imagine being the villain in someone else's healing story." The irony, of course, was that neither Selena nor Hailey had said a word. It was the audience doing all the talking. Benny Blanco, Selena's fiancé, finally broke the tension in a subtle but pointed way. He shared a photo of Selena in the studio captioned, "Art doesn't need permission to tell the truth." It was only 10 words, but it was enough to set off another round of debate. Fans saw it as confirmation that the song was personal, a creative purge years in the making. Others said Benny was simply supporting his partner's artistry, nothing more. Either way, the message was clear. The song wasn't meant to reopen wounds. It was meant to close them. Still, the media couldn't resist. Talk shows ran with headlines like "Selena's final word on Bieber drama" and "Hailey's silence speaks volumes." Pop culture podcasts broke down the track like it was a true crime case. But among all the noise, one quote from a Rolling Stone review stood out. "Selena Gomez doesn't sing like she's angry, she sings like she's free. And that's what makes it sting the most." That line captured what everyone was feeling. This wasn't a revenge anthem. It wasn't even a heartbreak song. It was a release. A letting go of the ghost that's haunted her for over a decade. The love, the comparison, the shadow of someone else's life intertwined with her own. But here's what made "Don't Take It Personally" so haunting. The empathy buried in it. Selena didn't sound bitter. She sounded compassionate, almost sorrowful. Like she understood that the person on the other side of her story was human too. The lyric, "Please don't take it personally," wasn't a jab. It was mercy. By the week's end, both women were trending again. Not for fighting, but for not fighting. Selena reposted a photo of her Rare Beauty team with the caption, "Proud, grateful, calm." And Hailey quietly returned to Instagram with a simple post. A photo of sunlight on her kitchen table and the caption, "Peace looks different every day." The comments beneath both posts were eerily similar. Fans begging them to move on, to rise above, to stop being each other's mirror. And maybe finally, that's what's happening. Because beneath all the analysis, the edits, and the gossip, something shifted with Don't Take It Personally. It felt like the closing credits to a story that's overstayed its time. The song wasn't an attack, it was an ending. And endings, no matter how painful, are also beginnings. Selena isn't fighting ghosts anymore. She's building a life that doesn't need to be defined by the past. And Hailey? She's learning to exist without being compared to it. Maybe the real message of Don't Take It Personally isn't about who it's for, but about letting go of the need to assign blame. Because sometimes closure isn't a conversation or an apology. Sometimes it's just a song. Soft, deliberate, and final. And when Selena Gomez whispered, "We both know that he loves me," maybe she wasn't talking to anyone else at all. Maybe, after all these years, she was talking to herself. In the days that followed, the conversation only grew deeper, less about gossip and more about meaning. What started as a pop culture moment began to feel like something much bigger. A collective reflection on how far this story had gone and how much it had taken from everyone involved. For over a decade, the world had treated the Selena-Justin Hailey triangle like a serialized drama. Every unfollow, lyric, and post became an episode, but Don't Take It Personally marked something different. The quiet moment after the finale, when the screen fades to black and the audience is left sitting with what they've just witnessed. Fans described it as the piece no one thought would come. Selena's team confirmed she wouldn't be doing interviews about the song, and that decision only strengthened its impact. It was as if she wanted to make it clear. Her art can speak for itself. The restraint made her seem even more powerful. While the media scrambled for quotes, she went back to her life. Spotted at a Los Angeles cafe with Benny, smiling, sipping coffee, wearing no makeup and no visible tension. For the first time in years, she looked like someone who wasn't trying to prove anything, but not everyone could let go so easily. The fandom wars reignited briefly when a viral post claimed that Hailey had accidentally liked a comment calling the song petty. Within minutes, screenshots spread like wildfire, with thousands accusing her of reigniting the feud. But just as fast, Hailey commented under the post herself. "Please stop. I didn't like this. It's not what you think." The comment was pinned, and within hours, she limited her account again. That simple exchange, the denial, the exhaustion, summed up the entire cycle. No matter what either woman did, the world refused to believe they could exist separately. The internet wanted conflict because peace isn't clickable, and then came an unexpected twist that no one saw coming. Selena performed Don't Take It Personally live for the first time at a small private showcase in New York. It wasn't announced. There were no cameras, just a few dozen fans, friends, and industry insiders. Midway through the performance, her voice softened on the line, "Don't waste all your energy." She smiled faintly, not sad, but knowing, and whispered into the mic, "This is for everyone still holding on to something they should have let go of." That single moment became the headline everywhere. It wasn't about Justin. It wasn't about Hailey. It was about everyone. About heartbreak, closure, and the courage it takes to stop replaying the past. Even Hailey's circle took notice. A week later, one of her close friends liked a tweet that read, "Real peace is when you stop explaining yourself." Fans immediately interpreted it as Hailey's quiet acknowledgement. A nod of respect to Selena's new song, or maybe even to the message behind it. For once, there were no fights in the comments, no war of words, just quiet agreement. And maybe that's what this entire saga needed. Silence, finally allowed to mean something good. Because as Don't Take It Personally continued to climb charts, one thing became clear: the song wasn't reopening old wounds. It was closing them. It was Selena's way of telling the world that she's done explaining herself, done defending her story, and done being haunted by people's expectations of who she should be. The truth is, the real rivalry was never between Selena and Hailey. It was between reality and the internet's obsession with it. Two women caught in the same narrative, trying to exist while the world kept pulling them back into a story they outgrew long ago. And now, with one song, Selena might have ended that story for good. Not with revenge, not with bitterness, but with grace. The kind that doesn't need applause, because sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing personal, and that's where the story settles. Not in drama, but in peace. Selena Gomez didn't shout her truth this time. She whispered it, softly, confidently, and without apology. Don't Take It Personally isn't just a song. It's a closing chapter, a quiet exhale after years of noise. For over a decade, the internet tried to write her story for her, pairing her name with others, twisting lyrics into headlines, and turning her heartbreak into entertainment. But with this track, she reclaimed the pen. She didn't need to name anyone, point fingers, or relive the past. She just told the truth the only way she knows how, through her art. And maybe that's the real message here. Healing doesn't always look like confrontation. Sometimes it looks like creating something beautiful out of pain, then walking away from it. Selena did just that. She left her final word in melody, not in war. As this fades, one thing becomes clear. The world may never stop speculating, but Selena already has her answer. She's not competing, not explaining, not defending. She's just living. So, whether you hear Don't Take It Personally as a goodbye, a confession, or a reflection, remember, it's not about who it's for. It's about what it means: peace, growth, and letting go of stories that no longer belong to you. Because sometimes the most powerful way to end a decade of chaos is to sing one last line and finally walk away.